Hey, good morning, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Kiwi in the kitchen. I was getting bored. I've watched all of Tiger King, drinking from my Kiwi cup. So I thought, why not start Kiwi's Kitchen Creations? Gonna do something really easy today. Coach Grace from Orange Theory inspired me on this one. A little bit of almond butter granola. So decided to go to Whole Foods today. Don't worry, I was safe. Washed my hands, everything's good. Picked up a few things, and we're just going to run through this recipe. So, oats. I believe you need some of those. Some walnuts. I thought those would go well. I don't know what these are, but they look like they should go in granola. So I got some of these. Flaxseed. Perfect. Flaxseed. Good. Raisins. Definitely need some fruit. These are Aurora Natural, I guess. Oh, organic, perfect, even better. A little bit of cinnamon, I'm going to need a dash of that. A little bit of salt. After my third visit to the supermarkets around here, thank you COVID, I managed to find some vanilla extract. It's going to take honey. Going to need that New Zealand Manuka honey. Best thing ever, if you can get some of that Manuka honey. Because it is the almond butter granola, we obviously need the almond butter. I like to use a lot of coconut in mine. Well, actually, this is the first time I've ever done this recipe, so I'm not too sure if I do or not. However, coconut's going in there. Utilizing some coconut oil. Gonna melt that down. Also picked up, because I thought these would go in there as well, some hemp hearts, some chia seeds. Finally, some chopped almonds, and I think these are sunflower seeds, but they'll go in there as well. So let's get started. Oh, hey, you're back. The walnuts were a little too big, so I just want to smash these down here. So all of the ingredients, the dry ingredients at least, are in the mixing bowl here. Yes, rolling pin, smash down the walnuts. So I do remember, actually, as a teenager, my father used to make this all the time. He would actually be in the kitchen. He'd probably do more of the cooking than my mum. Maybe that's where it comes from. But yeah, he would make this muesli, as we called it in New Zealand, granola as you call it here, recipe. I'd come home on a Saturday afternoon from watching some sport or something or playing, and Dad would be there in the kitchen making up this granola. So it's kind of like taking me back to when he used to do that, and it kind of makes me miss him a little bit as well. But anyway, all of the ingredients are all mixed up here, at least the dry ingredients. We're about to take what I'll call the wet ingredients, mix them all up, mix it all together, and then we're going to bake it. We'll take a quick look. I mean, it looks good. All right, so I've got the honey, the almond butter, the coconut oil, and the vanilla all in the pot. We're going to heat that up on a low heat, melt that all down, mix it in with the dry goods. As I was making this, I was thinking about one thing that my father told me when he was cooking one time. He said, recipes are a guide. He's like, go with your heart, not with your head. And in fact, what was really interesting was that was probably a life lesson that my father taught me when in the kitchen, but it can apply to so many different things. As more often than not, we will follow those rules and we will follow those instructions. But really, when you think about it, you go with the heart as opposed to your head. So when I'm mixing this up, I'll put the recipe at the end of this. But if you want to throw something else in there, if you want to go with a different proportion of something, put it in there. See how it works out. Time to melt this, put it in with the dry, and then we bake. All right, so this is almost ready. The coconut oil is melted down, the honey's all melted in there. The smell coming out of this right now is just awesome. All right, we're going to mix it in with the dry goods, lay it all out on the parchment paper, and we'll be good to go. All right, it's all in there. It's looking good, it's smelling good. Just got to mix these dry ingredients in with the wet goods, and then we're just going to lay it all out. It looks good. I mean, I hope it's going to taste just as good, and that I got the portions right. But It should be sort of a dry, wet mix. At least that's how I remember it with my father. And we'll bake that in the oven, 325. Every 10 minutes, I'm going to take it out and stir it up 3 times, half an hour in the oven. The last time, I'll probably add in some of the fruit, some of the raisins. One of the other things I always remember when Dad was in the kitchen was he'd always have music on. He loved to dance, and he would always be whistling. That was the other thing. He was always whistling. You could always tell where my dad was going to be when he was whistling. So it's kind of nice, kind of just doing what he was doing. Although I'm not whistling, but I am listening to music. Okay, this looks really good. Take a look. We're going to put it on the paper. Look at that. There you go, that wet dry mix. Spread it all out. Bake it up. Almond butter granola. Finished. Look at that. I mean, just crispy. It's all dried out now. It looks absolutely perfect. I put the raisins in the last time. I didn't video that. I mean, they're just raisins, right? So, this is your almond butter granola. Just going to leave it here, let it dry out a little more, and it's good to go. Cooking with Kiwi in the kitchen, and Alexa's giving me the timer that I should have taken this out right about now. Recipe comes up next.